What's up, everybody? I'm the Don. You guys are my people, my La Familia. And today I have a gift for you. The 2018 Jeep Trackhawk. This is my baby, sent from heaven. Thank you so much, God, for this beautiful car. This car is immaculate. Now I know, it looks like a Jeep, it looks like a regular Grand Cherokee, which it sort of kind of is, but a little different. The body is the same on certain parts, but it's not. This is a totally different beast. This car is the greatest SUV known to man. I don't care who you are, what you say, what you drive, this is the best SUV to drive. You get all of the power, you get great looks on the outside, settle, nothing too over extreme, pretty simple and clean, and you get the performance and you get the looks on the inside. They go crazy, and we're gonna get to that part. But on the outside, it's just a clean, simple look, nothing too crazy, same body style. But on the Trackhawk, what is the 2018 Trackhawk? And we're gonna start with a little features. First of all, this is Jeep's basically big brother Hellcat, if we can make any sense of it, or I would say the Demon or the Hellcat SUV version. Why is that? Underneath that hood sits 707 horsepower. What more do I have to say? 707 horsepower. The torque is like 650 foot-pounds of torque. It's amazing. Now, what they did with this car, a little back history. This car has the exact same engine as the Hellcat Challenger. Now, the Hellcat Challenger has the same exact specs. The only difference is, the biggest difference is that the Hellcat, one is a sedan, and no, not a sedan, excuse me, correction, is a coupe, and it's also rear-wheel drive, whereas this beautiful, let me pet it, beautiful car is all-wheel drive, which automatically puts it in a whole different category of machine and beast. It's beautiful car. Now, how do you know when it's a Trackhawk? First, the front bumper, right, which is all of this, right, has these big, huge air vents. Now, the reason why those air vents are there is because so that air can be pulled in through the front bumper, right? Pulled in and go into the radiator so it could cool down the engine. That's why these huge openings are in front of the car. They have it all throughout the grille, and then they also have it down here, and then they also have it to the sides. Now, if you look, there's also another row, a little thin row, and I'm thinking that's to sit down there for downforce to keep the car low when it's going through high speeds, and keep that low. Now, another thing that you can tell, there's a camera right about here, and this is not to record somebody that's stopping in front of you to try to cause an accident. This camera, this is actually what it sees, right? Obviously in a different lens and a different film, but this is what it sees. It sees the road and it levels the road. So when you put this car and you put it in launch mode, right? You sit down and you put it in launch mode, the camera scans the road, make sure that the road is on a straight leveled surface, and then launch control is also activated. Now, if I try to put it in launch control, it will not activate because while I'm going downhill, it's not on the leveled surface. If I was coming from the opposite direction, it will be the exact same thing. I have to be on a flat surface, and the sensors will not let you do launch control if you're not on a flat level surface. So that's another thing. So just so that you know, that's what that camera is for. Air vent, camera, two parts, two biggest details in front of the car that you could tell. Now the third one, the car is in black, obviously. This one that I got it in, has these hood scoops. And these are gorgeous the way that they are, but you don't see them and you don't really appreciate them from in front of the car because you don't really see them. It blends in. Now you can see it if you pay attention, like it has a little belly, but it doesn't really pop, which is cool. I like that it's a little hidden details that you have to look at the car. It helps you, it forces you to look and to expect. But this is another point to prove with the aerodynamics. Air is pulled in, cools off the engine, air escapes to sit down there and also cool down the engine as well. Make sure the heat escapes. Another thing, you will never see these tires on a Grand Cherokee, only on the the Trackhawk, excuse me. Pirelli P0 tires. Brembo brakes with the matte black finish rims. Absolutely gorgeous, the spec that we got it in. These tires are standard all throughout the car, and these are the tires that they come with also with the brakes. This car is all-wheel drive, so all four of these tires are pumping out horsepower straight onto the tire, straight tire onto the road, and it just goes. Gorgeous. Another little subtle detail, I think we're on detail number 4, is the Supercharged logo. Now the Trackhawk has the Grand Cherokee supercharged, and they put that on the side of the car. And I love how that little detail, again, little subtle touches that makes this car complete. Coming around to the rear, boom, why you fall in love with her in the first place? How does she look from behind? And she looks amazing with the quad exhaust pipes, that big fatty, she's gorgeous, I love her. Now these exhaust pipes I think are my favorite little touches on the car. Reason being is because of the detail behind it. Now I've never seen an exhaust pipe that have these little, I hope the camera picks it up, these little gullies inside of them. I think that is so cool. I don't know why they did it, but it looks so great. It looks amazing. I actually like that a lot, and I like the bumper, how they sit down and they put these little details throughout the car. I think that is such a great look, such a great accent, so gorgeous. Another thing is the spoiler, right? Or the wing, they put this here as well. This is almost, if you look at the Range Rover Sport, has almost the exact same finish, and it looks so good with the little wing on top of it as well. I love that. And I think all of this is for aerodynamics, to sit down there, help the car keep low so you can get more speed, more traction onto the road, better car driving experience. Another little detail that I like is such a clean look, such a clean look, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So now coming in to the car, come inside me, that's what she said. This is gorgeous. This is what sets the Trackhawk aside from everything else, from everybody else and every other car that's out there, because the inside is so gorgeous for this price point and for what this brand is doing. Jeep coming back so strong with such good quality cars. It's amazing. I love it. With the Trackhawk finish throughout the seats, the red demon leather stitching all throughout the car, and the leather's just so well done. To the floor mats, where they sit down and they have Trackhawk. That's another little touch that I like. It's such a well done car. And then I love how they sit down there and they made the pedals with the silver and the black, again, to give it a little bit of a sporty look. And then with the carbon fiber, I bet you didn't imagine that. Jeep is putting carbon fiber in their cars, and it looks gorgeous. And they wrapped it and they completed it. They didn't make any shortcuts with also the rear. And it looks so good. When you go into the back seat, they continued it. They continued the carbon fiber all throughout the car. Looks amazing. And then the cup holders, obviously, one over there, one over on the side, one in the front, on the side. It's just such a well done car. Now these seats in the back actually recline. So you can sit down there, pull this lever, and they'll shoot all the way down. Then you can sit down there, adjust them. They sit all the way up. And you can slowly start to move them further back, further, whatever you want, you know, based on your own preference. And then another thing that I like, you probably see, boom, is the sunroof. They put such a gorgeous sunroof, and it's like, look, you tease me with the horsepower, you tease me with the inside, and then you add a sunroof all the way, moonroof sunroof. It looks so good. It looks so good. Jeep, great job. You guys are sitting down there coming out with great quality stuff, and they're sitting down there and raising the bar higher and higher and higher for all of these other brands, so that you don't have to sit down there and go dish out $150,000, $175,000 on a Range Rover when you could get better quality, better performance with this. It's so gorgeous and so clean. And sitting inside from the driver's side, it's like everything is just so well done, from with the racing steering wheel, the leather also on the stick. It looks so good with the carbon fiber accents all throughout it. When the sunlight hits the red leather, looks gorgeous, especially living out here in Southern California. And when you sit down and you drive this car, you enjoy it with the beautiful stitching. We don't have roads like this every single day. This is false advertisement at its best. This road is usually jam-packed with traffic. But if you catch it on a certain day at the right time, you get this. So you jump in your car, you're comfortable, you have the power of the sports car that could probably come off the line faster than most of the sports cars out there at almost a quarter or a fraction of the price. You sit down there and you drive your beautiful car all the way up to the road. Now up there is Malibu, down there is Santa Monica. And you sit down there, you can't open up the engine, but you'll be comfortable. And if it's open like this, you sit down there, you roar, you let us scream all the way down, and just enjoy this beautiful day that was given to us. It looks absolutely gorgeous. But back on the star of the show, the Trackhawk is just absolutely gorgeous. And another detail that I left out that I got to include, when you see this logo on the back of the car, It's a Trackhawk. Now look closely, because Jeep has made different cars with a logo almost similar to it, but it's not the same. When you see that logo, you know you got a Trackhawk with the quad exhaust pipes, with the bumper, with the spoiler, with the little wing on top. All of these little subtle details, the big fat tires, the beautiful brake calipers, the Brembo brakes, the Supercharged. You know you're messing with the king of the streets, which is the Trackhawk. Absolutely gorgeous. I love this car. I think this is by far the best SUV on the face of the planet in terms of everything that it comes with. The quality of the inside, the great stitching throughout the car, such great quality, the quality of the engine, the power of the engine. They sit down there and they made it all-wheel drive, so you can sit down there. That's why they call it a Trackhawk. You can take this to the track. You can have a good time. You can hit the corners and not have to worry about it spinning around. And I will tell you, it makes you feel so comfortable. It makes you feel so safe, but you have to respect it. Now we're inside. How you start the beast, you put your foot on the brake. You see this red button, right? Oh, and you hear that beautiful exhaust from that. Oh, this is why this is the greatest SUV of all time. Regardless of what people says, this is my opinion. I think I'm right. I think everybody else will be right if they drive this car. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Gauges goes up all the way up to 200 miles an hour. It rev limiter is around 6,000 RPMs. Pretty simple, pretty easy to figure out. It's actually not that difficult, but it's a really, really easy car to figure out. One cool thing that I like about this car is the features in it. Now, if you sit down there and hit apps, the cool thing about it is, if you want to sit down there in this lineup right here, you don't like it, the driver heat, passenger heat, phone, media, driver mode, you can change all of this. So me specifically, I love the performance pages, and for some reason that's not coming up. Oh, I didn't know you can heat the steering wheel. Okay, so one of my pet peeves, I'm sorry guys, was that you can't heat the steering wheel, because for some reason now in California, it gets balls freezing cold in the morning, and my hands are freezing. So I'm like, man, I wish that this car, the steering wheel heats up, but it does. This is awesome. I didn't know that you could do that. Oh, that's so cool. All right, focus. All right, so back on this. So if all right, prime example, if I wanted to sit down there and make that like a priority for me in my lineup, I can easily just grab that, right? Drag it down here, put it there, boom. And now it automatically replaces it. This is just a warning sign that comes up. And now I have driver heat and my steering wheel. If I want to switch it back, right, all I got to do is grab it here, bring it back up there, and I could switch it around with something else. I can sit down there and grab media, up, go back, grab media, right, hold on to it, pull it down, switch it, boom, that easy. And then it switches it over. So it's so easy and it's so cool. It's so easy to figure out. Here's the modes into the car so that you guys know. Now we're in auto, right? Obviously the car fixes on automatic, figures out what settings to put it in. Now you can put it in sport. Once you put it in sport, this little, you know, the logo of the car comes up with a little checkered flag. Now you put it in track, boom. The exhaust doesn't change like in most cars, but you sit down there and now you have the full 707 horsepower. Now this is the safety logo that you guys have to remember. Whenever that traction control light comes on, it is off, which means traction control is off. You better know how to drive. You better know what you're doing, because you're in control. I usually like to make sure that I turn it on, right? But if I'm really hitting it hard, I'll turn it off, and so that, you know, I sit down and have better contraction just to make sure that I'm good. But that's the big one you got to watch. Now it also have lane assist as well to make sure that you're in the right lane. All done. Now I like to sit down there and drive and see how fast I'm going. But if you want to change it to your own personal preference, you can see the tire pressure. Everything is pretty much controlled from here, and your top speed of how fast you went. You know, it's so easy to figure out, and it's such a great car. Absolutely highly recommend it. It's a beautiful, amazing car, and I'm so blessed to even be an opportunity to have the opportunity to drive a car like this. It is just absolutely gorgeous with all the finishes throughout the car, and then they continue the leather all throughout the back. It looks amazing, and then with that sunroof, it looks so good. It looks so good. Well done, Dodge. You did a great job. And now, guys, the only thing left to do is to drive it. Now, got the red seat belt, put it on. We got it in track mode. We're on a hill. We're gonna put the emergency brake, take it off, and vehicle not in park, and we are good to go. Fix the steering wheel, straighten it out so that you guys can hear that engine is about. And hopefully the camera picks it up. You can hear the whine of that supercharger. It sounds so good. It sounds so good. So good. And the handling behind it, when you sit down and you drive the car, it just controls. It eats up all of these bumps on the road. It's very comfortable. It's practical because you can sit down there, and the cool thing about it is you can sit down there and invite your friends. Bring your friends inside of the car so that they can sit down there and also experience the car. It's such a great vehicle. Such a great vehicle. Unfortunately, people in LA don't know how to drive, so they like to take their time with everything. But it's such a great car. It sticks to the road. The all-wheel drive really helps it power through. It's such a great car. And I know I keep saying it over and over again, but this really and truly is it's just an amazing car. I highly recommend it. Listen to that. Listen to that. She's like, shut up. Let me talk. Woo! She just goes, man. She just goes. Whenever you sit down there, you tell her what to do, it just does. Now, the cool thing about this car is this car has to be driven. You'll drive and you'll hear the engine just like rumble. She's just waiting, like, open me up, open me up, open me up, open me up. She's ready to go. See? You hear this, the supercharger just whining. And I hope the camera picks it up because it's such an important detail in the fact about the car, and it just wants to go. So when you sit down there, and this is with the throttle all the way down. Oh my goodness. And the brakes are great. Amazing. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. It's a beautiful day in California. I've been blessed with this day. It's been raining all week and we finally got some good weather. So guys, I'm gonna have to cut this video short. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting me. Really appreciate it. For all my car people out there, follow me on Instagram, Don Miles. Follow me up, hit me up, leave comments down below.